A lot to talk about there. A warning tonight for drivers from NCDOT as they work to keep the roads safe. News 13's Rian Stockett joins us live from the mobile tracker to show us the road conditions, which are expected to get worse later on tonight. But Ryan, what's it looking like where you're at right now?
Mark, it's been raining on and off. Now we're traveling on I-26 through Madison County. I want to be very clear though, this is just the beginning of the weather event. That's why we're able to travel safely. We anticipate the weather getting worse later tonight. Now let me show you what we're looking at. So this is in front of our car, so it's raining right now. There's just a blanket of dark clouds above us. The roads are wet. Now, we recently passed the DOT trucks. The secretary of the DOT, he said in a press conference this morning that crews have been working to prep the roads. He also said that there's let me make sure I get that number right. He said that they have over 2,000 DOT employees working around the clock to clear the roads. And as the storm event goes on, he's asking drivers to stay off the road.
The risk of crashing in these conditions is high, which can lead to serious injury or being stranded in a disabled vehicle in bitterly cold conditions.
While DOT crews work on clearing the roads, the city of Asheville is asking drivers not to park on the streets. To prevent people from parking on the streets, as of 5 p.m. today, the parking garages in downtown Asheville are free. Tonight at 10, we're going to continue to update you on DOT's efforts to keep the roads safe. On I-26, Rian Stockett, News 13.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Well, Duke Energy says the biggest threat from this winter storm may not be snow, but ice building up on trees and power lines. Crews from across the country are now staged in western North Carolina, ready to respond if conditions turn dangerous. Now, News 13's Elijah Skipper's live at the WNC Ag Center tonight. Elijah, what are you seeing out where you're at?
Yeah, I'm surrounded by hundreds of line workers and support crews, all here gathered as part of Duke Energy's preparation for this upcoming storm. One of those people joining me is Duke Energy's Caroline Fountain. Caroline, for people watching at home right now, what are the next 24 to 72 hours going to look like?
Well, right now we are surrounded by more than 400 trucks just at one of the staging sites here in western North Carolina. There are several staging sites just like this one, in addition to the operation centers that are here every day in our communities. So we are here, we are present, and also keeping in mind, staying safe, staying connected, wanting to make sure that our customers are staying safe if they can avoid getting on the road, doing that, and also staying connected. If you do experience a temporary power outage, let us know through our app, our website, or calling 1-800-POWER-ON.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people are going to be keeping close watch on that outage map that's available online. They might not always see progress immediately. What do you want them to understand about some of the conditions these crews are working in?
Yeah, well, our in-house team of meteorologists are keeping a very close eye on the precipitation that we're going to be experiencing. And so keep in mind, it takes about a 1/4 inch of ice in order to start impacting trees, tree limbs that may fall on our lines. It takes about a 1/4 inch of ice to actually impact the lines themselves. Plus, it impacts the roads. So in order for our crews to respond, it has to be safe to do so. So know that we are here ready to respond as quickly as it is safe to do so.
Thank you so much, Caroline. We're going to keep you updated tonight at 10 and 11. We're going to be speaking with an actual line worker out there in the field tonight. In Asheville, Elijah Skipper, News 13.
All right, thanks, Elijah. Well, due to the severe weather, Biltmore Estate announced they'll be closed Sunday and Monday. Daytime guests can save their tickets for a future visit. Overnight guests who need to postpone their trip can get a 6-month credit to rebook. Biltmore said the safety of its guests and employees are a top priority. Well, several mountain counties preparing to battle major ice tonight. A state of emergency and curfews now in effect. What the declaration means for you coming up, and airports here and across the country already seeing impacts from the storm. After the break, why travelers may have to make some last-minute changes to their plans. Well, widespread power outages are a serious concern with freezing rain forecasted for the area. This is Duke Energy's live power outages map for the Carolinas. You can see at this hour the region isn't seeing many outages, but it's something News 13 is going to be watching closely throughout the storm. I kind of want to give you a little quick look at this right now. 837 power outages near Winston-Salem. That's what we're seeing there, but closer to home here. Let's click on this just to give you an example of kind of what we're seeing later on. 22 power outages right now. A lot of these times it'll break it down, explain why this is happening. But we're seeing right here 19 active outages right now. Of course, this is going to change throughout the night. We're going to keep watching this very closely, and we're going to keep you updated on the status of these power outages, both on air and, of course, online. WLOS.com. We're already seeing, though, also lots of flight arrivals being canceled coming into Asheville Regional Airport. Every arriving flight starting at 6:50 has already been canceled. Only 4 departing flights canceled so far, going to Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, and Charlotte. Several counties in the mountains are buckling down for the storm. As of now, Swain County is in a state of emergency. The proclamation allows county personnel to establish emergency shelters and expend funds to help residents. Hendersonville has also issued a state of emergency, which is putting a curfew within city limits. Today it starts at 8 p.m. The following days, the curfew will be in place from dusk to dawn. Meantime, Jackson County's state of emergency is restricting recreational use of public roadways. All right, checking back in with meteorologist Karen Wynne. Karen, when's everything going to be moving in?
Well, yeah, Mark, and hey, everybody, we have all 4 of us working around the clock here in the Weather Center, and we already have some of this moving in right now. We've had reports of sleet, and we continue to have this ice storm warning on through Monday afternoon. It doesn't end there. Brutal cold follows behind the winter storm. I'll show you how long we remain locked in this deep freeze.
And now, your News 13 Skywatch weather.
Things are beginning to pick up in terms of the precipitation. We have some areas that are already seeing pretty heavy sleet. Others are getting rain and freezing rain. Take a look down here in Silva with our Hunter Subaru Skycam network. It's 33 degrees. You can see the awnings have some precipitation stuck to them, and the street is definitely showing signs of more sleet, maybe some snow mixed in, but there it is, 33 degrees, and here comes a car right now down Main Street, very slowly, obviously, but it looks like more sleet happening there. It's 32 in Brevard, not much happening there. Bryson City, the temperature is above freezing. Look at this, all rain so far, and we're hoping that's going to be the case for you down there. You might miss out big time on some of the ice. Waynesville, though, ooh, this is not good. It doesn't look like sleet. It's kind of that clear, slick look, and it's 29 degrees. So whatever's happening there, it's probably freezing rain or freezing drizzle. Take a look at what is happening here with our radar. Purple is sleet, blue is snow, you don't see much of that, and freezing rain pink, obviously rain green. Watch that area west. It's all that heavier moisture coming our way in the next couple of hours, and then overnight we could have a lot of ice accumulating. Look at this area here. This is a dry slot. What that means is that's drier air punching in, and we hope we'll get that at some point. It will start to cut off the precipitation if it can come in here by morning. That might be the case around morning. We'll see a lull in the action, and then it'll pick back up in the afternoon. There's 6 o'clock this evening. Notice some sleet here. Pink is the freezing rain. Waynesville, Cullowhee, Cashers, you're stuck in the freezing rain. And we got sleet going on here for hours, maybe in some cases farther east of Asheville. But then overnight, the pink starts to take over. This is our biggest concern. Freezing rain reaching well south of I-85. Freezing rain well north of Asheville into Yancey, Mitchell County. More freezing rain going on into the early part of the day, hoping for a dry slot, but this model says not much of it unless you're down here over the upstate. Still freezing rain beyond 10 o'clock in the morning. There's lunchtime, still freezing rain east. More rain happening though west, and as the storm wraps up sometime after 5 o'clock, things are going to look a little better for us. We'll start to see this moisture move out. Temperatures will climb into the upper 30s and low 40s, so we'll see a big improvement. And then beyond that, some cold air starts to move in. So it is sleet and then eventually freezing rain. These numbers are going up. We're talking ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch, and it is definitely going to be a problem when we see those kinds of numbers. We're talking big issues. Once you get above a 1/4 inch of ice, you're talking destructive possibilities. You're talking crippling when you get above a ½ an inch of ice accretion on lines, on branches. We'll have major tree damage, and power outages will be big. All right, let's talk about what's going on beyond the storm.
All right, we are looking at some majorly cold air moving in behind this storm. So unfortunately, any moisture is going to refreeze or stay frozen for a while. This is going to be a period of time this week where you're going to want to cover all exposed skin. The top red line here is the actual air temperature, but look at the wind chill. It will be very windy and very cold in the coming days with Arctic air moving in. And look at that wind chill on Tuesday morning, feeling like 9 below zero, and that's Asheville. That doesn't even account for the higher elevations. So wind chills tomorrow morning, feeling like 16 degrees in Asheville, and that is when that wintry mix is still going to be going on. Monday morning, the moisture's out of here, but look how cold it is. 6 degrees in Asheville, and then we look ahead to Tuesday morning, and this is when we have those wind chills below zero. So of course, with that threat of so many folks losing power out of all of this, this is not the time you want to be without power. Unfortunately, we are looking at dangerous cold, and of course we have our weather worn days on through Tuesday, not only for the wintry mix and the ice, but also for that Arctic cold. Monday we see our high stays below freezing. Tuesday our high 40, but look at that morning low, and even Wednesday we barely go above freezing, and then we have another cold front move in, and on Thursday that is going to be a bitterly cold day as well. And of course, it's not only the mountains but the upstate dealing with all of this too, with that bitterly cold air moving in tomorrow night behind all that wintry mix.